So I've received several questions with regards to how to getting your music into TV, particularly for advertising or hearing it as background music on shows such as Generations, for example. So in this video, I'm going to show you one of the ways that I used to get my music onto these several types of revenue streams. Now, you can do this manually by bootlegging and finding the producers or the music supervisors or the production houses, but what I am going to show you is how to go about finding production music libraries, and once you find them, how to double check if they will be worth getting into a relationship with. How this typically works is you give a production library, or sometimes called a music publisher, you give them your music and they will do the hard work of pitching your music to the said shows or production houses. Now, you do give up some of your rights if you use this method. It can be typically anything between 20 to 50% of your rights, so they get 50%, but on the other side, you don't have to be building the relationships with the said production music houses and doing the admin work of pitching your songs. So this is one way, but the easiest way to do this is to head over to my PC and show you step by step how to find them and how to check if they are getting any revenue streams in terms of royalties. So before we get going, let me plug my website, skillmusicsa.com, and what you want to do is head over to website, and you might want to join the mailing list so you can keep informed, so I can keep you up to date in terms of the latest, as I've also got blogs and I've got other several things, free guides, and I've got my online course which is about music theory and music publishing, and then lastly I've also got free beats, so you can have it over there, mainly hip-hop beats. But anyway, let's carry on with the video. So you want to go Google and go to Capaso's website, capaso.co.za. It'll take a little while to get there. Yeah, my internet's slow today. So Capaso usually deals with mechanical royalties, and you generate these when music is played on TV, typically when music is synced to videos. So that is why Capaso is involved. So what you want to do is where it says rate card, you click on the rate card, and what a rate card is basically it's a rate card for people wanting to use music. Now I know you create music, but when you sometimes to get the best out of your music, you have to think as a customer or someone who uses music. So that's why you go to the rate card. The rate card also gives you a breakdown on how much you earn, so you can get a rough ballpark on how much money you make from sync advertising and other placements. But you go right to the end and then you look at all these right at the bottom. There's a list of music publishers. There's some new ones that I haven't seen before. Actually, I haven't looked through the rate card in a while, but this is the list of all, well, not all of them actually, but these are the ones that are recommended by Capaso. So in this part, you find the relevant music publishers. Now, there are about 5, 10, 15, 20 of them, 19, 18 of them. So you want to kind of target the music publishing house that matches the music that you make, first of all, and then secondly, you want to check if they are making money. So in terms of finding the music that you make, I'll leave that up to you, so you can go to each website and then listen to the music that they are typically pitching mainly on their front pages. You also want to double check that they actually have a website. If they don't have a website, then you might avoid them, but sometimes they work with different type of clients, so they don't necessarily need one in South Africa anyway. But you want to find, once you figure this part out, then you move on to the point where you want to check if they're part of SAMRO's list. Now, some of them might not be on SAMRO's list as full members because that, like, I know Extreme Music is an international one, so they might not show on SAMRO's list, but the others may show up. So what you want to do next is you want to Google SAMRO. Let's go to their website first of all to see if we can find it from there directly. Then you scroll right to the bottom of the SAMRO website, and then you see where it says member list. So you just click over there, waiting for SAMRO. So this shows you a list of full members. Now this thing hasn't been updated in almost a year. There is most probably an up-to-date one, but for now you click on that PDF. So what you've done by now is you've gone to the Capasso website, you've found the rate card, gone to the bottom, found a list of music publishers, and now you want to try look for the music publishers where your music matches. So this takes quite a bit of time because you have to go through all of them. Once you've done that, then you go to the SAMRO website, and then what you want to look for is a publisher. You've already got their names, but their names might not be the company name, because some companies trading as something else, so you might not be able to find all of them. I know a few of them. I work with 3 of them, but what you want to do is on the SAMRO list, you want to scroll down, and then you press Control F to find, and you search publisher. Now, as you can see, there's 1,911 publishers. So you will be scrolling forever if you do it this way. But another way is to look for full members. There's slightly less full members. Or you can use directly the name. So I know, let's use Universal, because Universal is a fairly big publishing library. See, Universal doesn't pop up because they may be registered somewhere else or some other way else. So you could try Universal. Yeah, so look here, Universal Music Publishing publisher. So you want to make sure it's the right one. And then secondly, you want to check if they're a full member. If they're a full member, there's a high chance that they're already making or have been in the business for long, so they're already making money. So it's a ballpark to say, okay, if I get my music with Universal Music Publishing, it's a full member, so there's a higher chance of getting money because they are already making money. But on the flip side of that, because Universal Music Publishing is so big, you might be a little fish in the ocean, where you'd rather be a bigger fish in a small pond, if that makes sense. So you have to play it by ear. Sometimes you want the more experienced publishers. Sometimes you want to try the dark horse type of the ones that don't pop up. Universal one is the one that popped up easily because it's Universal. It's a pretty big one. Same as Share. Share is also a big one. There, as you can see, Share Music Publishing. It's a music publisher. So what I did there is Control F to find, and then I just put in Share Music Publishing. But then I don't want to highlight any other ones. I'm just highlighting the ones that I know are most likely going to show up on this list. Control F again, and then I'm pasting Gallo. And Gallo is a pretty big music publisher, so Gallo might be trading as something else. Yeah, here it is here, Gallo Publishing. And they also a full member. So what you're looking out for is full member. Now you might be asking, well, what is a full member skill? So let's go to SAMRO's website, and then where they say there should be something about members, creator. So member, so you go to where it says creator, a music creator, and then where it says member types, it will scroll you down to the bottom. So what it actually means, becoming a full member, there's a list of things that you have to be doing. So there's a high chance that if the publisher is a full member, that they at least got 5 years of being active, which means that they are surviving. That means they've got some form of revenue coming in. Associated with public full member, 5 years of active. They've got a bit. The flip side is they might have a very big catalog. So having a big catalog adds points, but so it could be a good and it could be a bad thing. I highly suggest, if you want to be a full member, this is probably the easiest thing to achieve, is to get your catalog up. It's a lot smaller for individuals. Associate membership is easier. Full member, and then for publisher, just double check that you're looking at publisher, right? So at number 2, author, you're not looking at author. For music publisher, so they need like 700 works as a publisher. So you can imagine that the full members have a lot of music in their library. So you must tailor your music, tailor your music to the publisher, so they actually have a need. You can't be giving a rock track to a library that uses classical music, for example. Another one on the pointing system, lowest yearly earning. So as a publisher, they at least have earned 50,000 in the year before. Like 50,000 if your music publisher is not a lot of money, considering you got a catalog of about, how much did we say, 700 tracks, so you should be able to at least 50,000 for the bigger publishers. But now you have to balance. The bigger the publisher, the less attention you can get. So sometimes when you're starting off, you want to start with the smaller one so you can get that attention, especially if you're learning the ropes, figuring out how this side of the industry works. But basically that is it. Once you find, let me go through it again. Obviously, you go to my website, join the mailing list. So it's skillmusicsa.com/skillfam. Then you go to Capaso's website, find the rate card. Right at the end of the rate card, there would be a list of publishers. After you find the list of publishers, you want to match the type of music that you make to the said publisher. They typically want 10 to 12 tracks at a time. So you want to make that kind of at least 10 to 12 solid tracks, and then you start submitting that way. And then once you find the publisher that you're interested, you just want to double check. You don't necessarily have to do this, but you want to double check that the publisher makes money. So that's why you head over to the Samro website and you check the member list, double check if the publisher is actually registered. You might not get them because of the name. They might have a different name, but you find the publisher and you double check if they are full member. This is not crucial, but it helps you know that, okay, there's a higher chance of getting more money if I put my music with this music library. And then double check that you yourself are registered with Samro, and then you must make sure that you've got your IPI number, and then sometimes they ask for your relation number, and then be willing to accept that you might lose some rights as you sign up with the said music publisher. But that's basically it. If you want to know how much royalty money you get from getting your music onto TV in this way, watch this video.